Hi. I oh, I'm gonna burp. I'm sorry. Oh, that's relatable. This is coming to you in like vlog format because I have been trying to render this week's video for the last 2 days. I don't know what it is that my laptop is just deciding not to render this video. It might be time for a new one. Which sucks shit because I have other expenses that I need to take care of at the same time. I can't really afford to drop a lot of money on a laptop, and if I buy a new computer, it's going to be a Mac desktop. So, there's that. Um, so yeah, it's saying to me right now it's going to take 6 hours and 22 minutes to render the last 20% of this. So you know what? I'm going to let it render and I'm not going to post it because I don't know what the fuck is going on with my laptop. I'm going to shoot, I guess. Here are some lazy videos, I guess, coming up this week and probably next week again. The video this week was supposed to be about BTS and Permission to Dance. And so I will just tell you my thoughts really quickly now and not in a long form video. So here we go. Permission to Dance, not my favorite BTS song. Not my favorite BTS song, but I think it's cute. The draw to this for me, actually, now that it's like Tuesday night and like more things have come out, right? A couple of performances have come out. The thing that draws me to this is how happy they are performing it. Like if you watch the dance practice or you watch their Neighbor Now performance, like they seem to have a lot of fun performing this song. And that's what I mean, like that's the thing that I've always loved about BTS. The thing that brought me into BTS was a performance of Fake Love at the Billboard Music Awards, right? So I've always loved them performing, and that's what the draw for this is for. That's what the draw for me is for this song. But I will say, I knew, right? When we first got inkling that Ed Sheeran had written a song for BTS, I was like, okay, like here we go. I'm like, what? Like, I guess, well, I'm here for the ride. He worked with BTS before for Make It Right. It was okay, not my favorite. And then like Ed Sheeran was really excited for the song, and the boys were also really excited. And I was like, okay, like everyone's really excited, so I'll give it a chance. I give a lot of things a chance. And then I saw them in cowboy outfits, and I was like, okay, so we have an Ed Sheeran yeehaw concept going on. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew, honestly. But that's, besides it sounding like a Disney Channel song, and beside it having all of the weirdness of an Ed Sheeran song, my only like complaint really is that this is a song with an Elton John reference, but like Western working class American aesthetic. And it's like usually BTS matches their concepts really well. I just don't think the concept matches well with this song or song type. When I saw they had the Western cowboy outfits on, I was like, maybe this song is gonna be like Western, you know? Not country, like Western. Think like a "You Should Be Sad" by Halsey, like something like that, or like a "Desperado" by Rihanna. And I was like, okay, I could get behind that. I like songs like that. I really like songs with that Western flair. So, I was excited, but that's not what this is. It does sound like a Disney Channel original movie soundtrack song. It's fine. It's okay. Listen, I watched Camp Rock a lot as a child, so it's not like it's something I'm not used to. But yeah, as far as the backlash, like, here's the thing. A lot of people started making think pieces on why the song is bad. And then a lot of people who are armies, both sides were armies here, right? And then a lot of other armies were like, just shut up, accept what they give you. They are not above criticism. BTS is not above criticism, right? When they miss, like, it's okay to say that they miss because they don't miss often. And I wouldn't even consider this a complete miss. I think it's going to go number one, like everything else that they do now. Because that's the way their fan base works, right? Once we figure out how to do something, we can just do it over and over and over again because we're very meticulous about documenting what went right, what went wrong every time, and having, addressing that, right? I think it's gonna go. I don't think the fandom grew that much between Butter and Permission to. That's the other thing, right? Insider information. So if you're a record exec, listen close. One of the things that helps BTS and armies achieve all of this success is that sometimes there's a lengthier amount of time between comebacks. And in that time, we use that time in between comebacks to catch people up, right? So if you're like say like you were Normie and you came in for Butter, right? Like, I'm not even going to use that example. I'm going to use my own example, right? When I became an ARMY, 2018, Fake Love, like I said earlier, it took me maybe a month and a half to get up to speed on what the process was. And then I had my first comeback with Love Yourself Answer, right? And then I knew what was expected of me, right? But it takes a while, because I mean, like, it takes a while to learn the fandom culture, especially for a group that has been around as long as BTS, has as much content as BTS does. It takes a while to wade through it. There's over 100 episodes of BTS Run, and that's just the free shit, right? That's not covering Bon Voyage. That's not covering any of their very early variety content. That's not covering Into Soup. Like, there's a lot. But there wasn't that much time between Butter and Permission to Dance, and we're very much still in comeback mode for Butter when this came. Since my other criticism, timing wise, but I think like Butter came out end of May, Permission to Dance came out beginning of July. We're probably looking at album September for Grammy timing, if they use the same Grammy timing as they did for Dynamite. So, like, you know. Anyways, the point of all that is that they're not above criticism. That was such a tangent. They're not above criticism. We're allowed to criticize them. The other thing too, right? This is not in the video because this video came out last night, but D'Angelo Wallace made a video about why he didn't like Permission to Dance, which is fine. Again, BTS not above criticism. But he also like brought up like the point that sometimes ARMYs will point out that people are fans of other K-pop groups and use that as a way to discount people's opinions on BTS. I want to explain why, because listen, when he said he was a fan of Blackpink, I was like, that's why. And also, before I even get into it, right, I love D'Angelo. He's usually very, like, meticulous. I find it weird that he did not mention B or Life Goes On once in that video. I do, because that happened in between Dynamite and Butter. Like, that exists. So when we're talking about, like, deep lyrics or how, like, Ed Sheeran, like, shafted them on the lyrics, which I agree, Ed Sheeran did shaft them on the lyrics to the song. Why did you not? Like, he had to go all the way back to Map of the Soul 7 to point out their deep stuff when Blue and Gray is right there. Why did you have to go that far back? Like, you know? And he said he was a fan of Blackpink, right? Here's the thing, right? BTS, there's a trap that white people like me often fall into, which is like this Asian exceptionalism thing. I don't want to fall into that trap. What I do want to say, though, is that when you compare BTS to other K-pop groups, literally pick a contemporary, any contemporary, right? What you will find is that the BTS method, the BTS philosophy of production, of concepts, of presenting themselves, even the Hybe / Big Hit Entertainment philosophy of training idols, is inherently very different from other companies and other groups, right? Because BTS really emphasize the group dynamic. Yoongi literally just said this. There was an Amazon Music interview. They literally just said this. The Amazon Music interview was like last Wednesday, I want to say, right before Permission to Dance came out. So that is where what I'm coming from is saying BTS and TXT, and actually arguably in Hyphen, but like in Hyphen's a complicated situation, but for BTS and TXT, the philosophy is they emphasize the group first, what the group wants to do, and then the group works together with their in-house producers and outside producers to make music, songs, albums, whatever, right? Permission to Dance would not have happened if all 7 of them did not agree that they wanted to do Permission to Dance. if there was even one of them that was like, we shouldn't do this, I object, they wouldn't have done this. And BTS talk all the time, right? Okay. They emphasize themselves as a group. They emphasize their artistry and their musician, and their management emphasizes them growing as musicians. That is not the same for other groups. That's not even the same for other artists in the West. Like, across the global music industry, that's not the same for a lot of people, right? So, because D'Angelo brought up Blackpink, I'm going to bring up Blackpink. Full disclosure, Blackpink, not my favorite. But for Blackpink and other YG groups, right, the emphasis, especially for Blackpink, because Blackpink, there's a lot of management problems. There's a lot of management problems. I don't think anyone would argue with me on that. There's a lot of management problems. Blackpink does not emphasize the group first. Blackpink also does not emphasize the development of the 4 members. Blackpink the business and YG does not emphasize the musical development of the members of Blackpink, and they don't emphasize the musicality of Blackpink, right? Blackpink, the business, is very much surrounded by this kind of like straight up influencer guy. Like, you can't really argue with me about this because they don't release music. They don't release music, but for a long time there, it was very much like this bad, like, chic girl, like, all they were running were Instagrams, right? All 4 of them have separate deals with separate fashion houses, which is something that is normal for K-pop groups, but not normal for BTS. Which one is bigger? Like, which strategy worked better, right? And now you see, right? Like, now suddenly everyone in Blackpink is getting solos. Now suddenly there's going to be a comeback in quarter 4 for Blackpink that'll probably emphasize the group. And it's not even just them. You want to talk about NCT and EXO? NCT does not, physically cannot emphasize the group because there's 22 of them. Right? These other companies, what they do is they train their people, right? They train their idols, and then they put them out there, and then whichever ones are the most popular, those are the ones they put more money behind. And then the other ones fall away, right? This is across boy groups, girl groups, all of it. This is across all of it. So, like, with BTS, it's very unique that, like, it's not about which one is more popular than the others. It's about what do they want to do as a group. And BTS themselves, very group oriented and group focused. They say it all the fucking time. So that's why when people who are fans of other K-pop groups and aren't necessarily fans of BTS, and then they criticize BTS, I look at the group that they like, and I'm like, clearly what BTS does works. Even if the song is as not great as Permission to Dance is, right? It still works. Something about it is still working. So, I don't know. Thank you for watching this rambly video. I'm just going to upload it. Sorry that my render decided to freak out. Thank you for watching. This description is just going to be like whatever.